I didn't do it.
Oh boy, what an episode. Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on Stargirl, and this will be my review and breakdown for Stargirl Season 3, Episode 1, titled Chapter 1, The Murder, and just giving you guys my quick initial thoughts on this episode before I go more in detail with the breakdown itself. I loved this episode a lot, especially the ending. It had this very Knives Out-esque type tone to it, and the music really helped, set that up, and I thought they handled it really, really well. You can tell that we are getting some really cool murder mystery coming, and I'm all for it. Tonally, this episode was beautiful. We had a lot of great light-hearted / humor moments. We went to serious moments when it needed to, and of course we had aspects of mystery and horror sometimes as well, and I think it worked. We of course had conflict within the JSA, especially since we now have a new team member, Cindy Berman. We get to see what she's been doing to change, pretty much redeem herself. And we do see that towards the intro of the episode, where she obviously helps this old lady, which we'll get into. We also have some conflict between Courtney and Starman about the staff. Now that Starman is back, of course there's going to be conflict about the staff, and we find out what's going on, how Starman is alive and all of that. Well, it's a working theory, but we're going to use that for now at least, and I really like how that conflict with the staff got resolved as well. But yeah, the most intriguing part was definitely the bit with the gambler, as not only does it tease a new character coming down the road, but also the murder mystery is very, very intriguing as well. Now, I do realize that I gave some spoilers as I was doing my quick initial thoughts on the episode, but just in case anyways, spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't want even more spoilers than what I shared, as this is a review and breakdown after all, so I'll be going over some major spoilers which you certainly wouldn't want to hear from me. So for those who have not seen the episode, go watch the episode and come back later for this breakdown. But for those who are staying, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Stargirl videos coming your way. But yeah, as I said, this episode kicks off with this sort of montage of Blue Valley. We get to reunite with everyone. We see the gambler in some shots. We obviously reunite with the JSA members. We see Rick burying Solomon Grundy, as he obviously died last season, and Shade did give him specific areas to bury Grundy. We get to see what Yolanda's up to. And we also get to see our new JSA member, Cindy Berman, and we get to see what she's up to as well. You can tell she's doing her best to change. She pretty much goes up to this old lady and offers her help. You can tell that she's not used to anything like this. She doesn't like doing it, but she's obviously trying to change. We obviously get to see what Beth's parents are doing as well. Now that they know that she is Dr. Midnight, they are pretty much kind of annoying her with it and all those sorts of stuff. Courtney is on some summer trip, I believe, or just a family trip in general, and they're returning to Blue Valley. But yeah, we have Sylvester, who has moved into the Dugan Whitmore household, and he's essentially doing housework. He's renovating the area. Essentially, he's taking care of things, and he's just trying to, keep up with all the damage that happened last season. We do also see when Courtney has arrived that he also built this display case for Cosmo as well, which obviously Courtney doesn't get very happy about, especially when she sees that. And this is where the conflict between Courtney and Sylvester begins, because we have this conflict between who's going to take the staff. Yes, Sylvester did say that he does not want the staff, but then obviously later on in the episode he does establish that he came for the staff. But Sylvester explains that he believes his connection to the staff is what brought him back to life, and that is their working theory on how Starman is alive at the moment. And yeah, just the whole family is shocked in general in regards to this great effort that Sylvester put into pretty much fixing all the damage at home. But we then get this scene between Pat and Courtney, where we obviously see Courtney being troubled by what's happening, and obviously with Sylvester building that display case, you can tell that she's thinking that Sylvester does actually want the staff, but he's too essentially shy to say it. But yeah, Courtney is obviously talking to Pat about her concerns, but Pat is excited that Sylvester's now here because he can actually teach Courtney how to essentially be a better Stargirl and essentially just learn some new tricks. And that's obviously very interesting. We do, of course, see from the trailer of next episode that we're going to be getting some sort of training sequence, so that's pretty exciting to look forward to. But yeah, we have Pat locking the door, and I thought this was a really funny moment. But Pat locks the door to the family home, but Courtney unlocks it. She still has faith in people, especially with the Crocs who've moved in as neighbors. And obviously, they're giving Dugan and Whitmore just trouble in general, but they're acting like close neighbors. But yeah, Courtney is in full faith of everyone. She's essentially trusting, but obviously, Pat is total opposite. He does not trust them at all. But yeah, we then have the gambler returning, and he essentially arrives to the Dugan Whitmore household to essentially make amends. He does also say that he asks to just be like this productive member of the community because he's discovered he has a daughter, so he obviously wants to change for her. He did obviously mention that he got raised without a father and he does not want his daughter to go through the same thing. His daughter is obviously Becky Sharp, and this is a cool Easter egg, I guess. It's not really an Easter egg, but I'll just mention it anyways. We did actually see Becky Sharp on The Flash season 4. I know it's not going to be the same versions of Becky Sharp or anything like that, but we did get a version of Becky Sharp on The Flash, and that was essentially that like lucky girl in season 4. So yeah, for those who are wondering what type of character Becky Sharp is, it's essentially the one you saw on The Flash. Now, once again, I thought this scene was really funny, but we have Pat obviously waking up the next day at 5 a.m. in the morning, only to find Crusher in his kitchen. And obviously, that's got to do with the whole Courtney trusting thing, her obviously unlocking the door. But yeah, Crusher essentially brings his like blender. He's making this like very healthy drink, and he's just vibing with Pat, with him just trespassing into his house. I found that really funny. And he obviously asks what the gambler was doing visiting, and he obviously tells him that the gambler cannot be trusted. He's only in there for the money. But then obviously Courtney wakes up and she's like, oh wait, what's going on? And then she obviously sees Crusher as well. And then we had that moment where Pat obviously tells Courtney that she should keep the door locked, and I just found that really funny. But we then head to the cafe, I guess, and this is when we have the Shade drinking a cup of tea. And obviously he doesn't like this piece of tea because he's hoping for that perfect cup of tea, but unfortunately the waitress was not able to just ace it the way the Shade likes it. So that's unfortunate for him. But the gambler visits the Shade and he wants to make amends as well with the Shade, but the Shade essentially dismisses him. He goes all like creepy. He essentially brings his Shade eyes out and he's like, go away, essentially. He dismisses him and also denies the thought that the gambler would be capable of having a child as well. But we then head to school and we have Yolanda still having concerns about Cindy, obviously for obvious reasons. She doesn't trust her at all. Beth's parents are obsessing over her like superhero business, and they're obviously suggesting a new superhero suit, which we see through the goggles. Rick, once again, as we mentioned towards the start of the video, he's trying to revive Grundy. He's trying to bring him back by burying him in different places, but unfortunately he's not able to get it right, and obviously that's going to be a storyline for Rick as well. And yeah, we do obviously have our new member of the JSA, Cindy, joining the loser table, if you will. Yeah, we have them having a team meeting, which is essentially not going too well because obviously Rick and Yolanda are not trusting at all. But Courtney and Beth are on board with having Cindy on the team because they believe that she can change. But as I said, Yolanda and Rick are the total opposite. We do obviously have Artemis walking by to essentially, try and get noticed because she wants to join the JSA as well. So she gives like a go team thing, and yeah, things don't really go too well for Artemis because she's not able to make it just yet. Now, we do have Pat showing Sylvester Stripe. I thought this was a really cool scene as well, seeing both of them just bonding together. Again, I really liked it. He says that kind of work would have earned him a seat at the JSA, and obviously Pat does seem very proud of that. We then have Sylvester asking Pat if they could take that out for a ride, and Pat obviously agrees. They're like, okay, fine, let's go for it. And then Sylvester's like, okay, I'll get the staff so I could catch up with it. You can tell that Pat was going to warn Sylvester about him saying that he doesn't want the staff anymore. but he wasn't able to fully address it. But yeah, we have Starman getting the staff, and then we have Pat going on the striped suit, and we have them flying around, and I really liked those moments. I thought they were a really good addition on this episode as well, and it was really fun to see. We do obviously have Artemis's mother coming to the American Dream Foundation, and she obviously discusses Artemis's desire to join the JSA, and obviously Barbara says that it's not my decision to do that, it's obviously with the children, because essentially Courtney is the head, I guess, but Barbara's not part of the JSA at all, so she has no say in any of that. But we then head to this trailer park, and the gambler begins to search for his daughter, and you know, he really wants his daughter, you can tell that, and he seems to have, you know, left out his gambler side behind. He's only looking for this one search, or he's just trying to hack just to find his daughter, so he's doing it for that reason, but he's no longer like a villain type thing, he's just an ordinary guy. You do kind of see that when he throws his gun in the bin. And then obviously he begins writing a letter for his daughter as well. Now we then have Starman and Stripe arriving home after their ride, and we do find out that they ended up saving a plane as well. But yeah, Courtney is there, and she sees Sylvester took the staff, and Sylvester does eventually give the staff back and apologizes, because he did actually say that he doesn't want the staff anymore, but then he ends up taking the staff. So as I said, we do get this staff type conflict with Courtney and Sylvester, which does get resolved right now, where Courtney goes to speak with Sylvester, who realizes that he doesn't really have any purpose anymore, like he's pretty much dead, he has no family or anything like that. And although he's looking for essentially a new way to fit in and find life again, Courtney makes the decision that they should share the staff. So when she's in school, Sylvester can be Starman, and then when Courtney is out of school, she takes the staff, she becomes Stargirl, and obviously Sylvester's like, okay, wait, let me train you over here, you could learn some really cool tricks as well. And I thought that was a really fun scene as well, and obviously we're going to be getting some training sequences, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, obviously as established earlier on in the episode, a lot of the JSA members were not too trusting of the gambler, and obviously we have the JSA heading into this like area where they find out that the gambler's old gang are in Blue Valley and they're stealing from a money truck, and obviously they arrive to stop that. But before they intervene, we obviously have Artemis just going in, jumping in, and she essentially just solos all of the bad guys, and you can tell they're triggered about that. But Artemis is trying to get into the JSA. Whether that happens, it probably will happen down the road, but I don't think just yet. I think it'll be too soon right now. But we head back at the garage, and this is when we have Beth investigating the gang, and then we have Cindy essentially being impatient. She's like, call me when there's something interesting happening. She's not, you know, particularly interested by just waiting around there. And then once again, Yolanda does say the JSA is not going to work out with Cindy Berman over there. So we do once again have that conflict between this new member of the JSA and the people who are not on board with her being part of the team. But we have the gambler finishing his note to his daughter until his computer identifies a hidden camera system that looks to be monitoring pretty much everyone. You can see him viewing Barbara's office, the American Dream, the cafeteria, the main street, the houses of the members of the JSA. He can see everything, including his own trailer. And this is when we have the gambler picking up his gun. He goes to investigate what happens, but then something growls at him, and then obviously the cameras shut. JSA obviously head to investigate the gambler's connection to his old gang. That's why they're there, but they hear the gunshot and they run all the way to see where the gambler is, only to find him dead, and his trailer is essentially just torn apart. But Cindy Berman is standing over there with the gun, and she obviously says, I didn't do it. What a murder mystery being established over here. Obviously we know that Cindy didn't do it. It's probably going to be somebody else, but who it is, I guess we will have to wait and see. But damn, I am very, very intrigued, and I thought that this was a really, really cool ending. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought about this episode. I'm interested to see all of your thoughts towards all of this as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.